Welcome to Retired to Ride Tour 2024. This is video number 22. Currently we're staying in Pickering, North Yorkshire with my good friend Dave, who made us cake, which we had with Wensleydale cheese. And then Max the dog starts conversing with us.
Dear our Lord. What's going on? What is it? What? Okay. What? Well, that was nice, thank you. I'll just clear my throat. Yeah.
What an absolute character that dog is. Well done, Max. You kept us entertained all evening. The next day we bid a fond farewell to Dave and head towards Lincoln.
Take care.
Leaving Pickering, the weather doesn't look like it's going to be kind to us today, but you live in hope, don't you? We have now in fact reached the most northernmost point of this tour. Our hopes to get to Scotland have been dashed by the weather gods, so this is as far north as we're going to get, and we're heading now slowly back towards our home in the south of Spain. On the way, we have some pretty special destinations to fit in. And one is to Lincoln to see my mate Frank, and the other one is to Dinnington near Sheffield for my brother Bill's 70th birthday party. We've given ourselves plenty of time to get to Lincoln today, and we're going to go across the Humber Bridge via Beverley. So far, so good, no rain, but we're keeping our waterproofs on just in case. Brenda the honey badger doing her usual sterling job as executive camera operator. A bit of open road now and a chance to make progress towards Beverley, where we're hoping for at least a cup of coffee, eh? The old bike is running well, and the old people on it aren't doing too bad either. We're getting close to Beverley now and our coffee stop. And by the way, Beverley, the name, The derivative, or the most popular derivative from the Anglo-Saxon to modern English, is beaver clearing in the woods. And that's quite probably a reference to the beavers that used to dwell on and around the River Hull as it passed Beverley. And although the beavers are long since gone, the town's crest depicting this animal by the water still remains. Interestingly, Beverley has its own minster, some Gothic masterpiece, and it wasn't until 1220 that the current building was begun, with various minsters before it falling foul to a range of disasters, such as destruction by Vikings and a fiery fate due to a dreadful blaze that swept the town in 1188. The church on the left, St Mary's, was established in the first half of the 12th century as a daughter church of the minster, and it continued to grow the next couple of centuries until the 14th century, when building work stopped due to the Black Death. I think we'll go and have a look in there later. So we're scouting around a bit looking for the two central market squares, and after a bit of toing and froing, we find our way there. Wonder of wonders, there's even some allocated motorcycle parking.
Can you see that? A quick stop in Beverley. Looks quite interesting, this, very picturesque. See you later.
Coffee stop in Beverley, and as you can see from Brenda's hair, it's a bit windy today. Coffee looks nice though, eh?
Very nice.
Decaf cappuccino. Decaf Leonardo di Cappuccino. Ideal. After a blustery coffee, we make our way back down the street to St Mary's Church. The condition of the paintwork inside is spectacular. This door inside the church was made by Robert Thompson of Kilburn in Yorkshire, who became known as the Mouse Man due to his signature of a carved mouse on the oak furniture he became famous for making. Also in the church was a display or an exhibition about the Chronicles of Narnia, including statues like this one of Mr. Tumnus. It's more interesting than I thought it would be, this place. And I learnt something new today, or a new word, misericord, which means a ledge projecting from the underside of a hinged seat in a choir stall which, when the seat is turned up, gives support to someone standing. There you go. And I'm always fascinated by Old English in its written form. Back out on the street, I'm impressed with the restoration of this town water pump. This is quite clever. The local artists Fred and Mary Elwell, their works are put up in places around the town and you just sort of bump into them on the move as you're walking around. It's a really clever idea, and this is a very good painting. Then it's back to the bike and we're off to look at the Minster. Taking in some of the gorgeous Georgian architecture on the way. The Gothic majesty of the Minster looms up before us, and we take a quick right turn and we'll be there. Unfortunately, they wanted money to go in there, so we didn't do that. We cleared off and headed for the Humber Bridge. Due to high winds, the speed limit on the bridge at the point of the time we crossed was 30 miles an hour, and nobody else seemed to be sticking to that. And I have to be honest with you, it was a fight to stay on the bike. The winds were so high. The weather gods as we enter Lincoln have turned against us, but it doesn't dampen our enthusiasm. We're very much looking forward to seeing Frankie. Lincoln was once a Roman town that rivaled London in importance, and many traces of this time in the city's history remain. There are remnants of the old city wall, aqueduct, and a well, which can still be seen. The 3rd century Newport Arch is believed to be the only Roman arch still used by traffic. In Viking times, Lincoln was an important trading centre, producing coins at its own mint. But it was the Normans who left the finest reminders of the past, the cathedral and the castle. The cathedral is a magnificent 900-year-old medieval building. I'm hoping we're going to get to see it. And here we are, old mates reunion. It's wonderful to see him. A former mule wrangler, sometime magician, a man of incredible capacity, charm, and many talents, dubious or otherwise. And a very good city tour guide. These two statues that look like they're in sentry boxes are in fact the Archangel Gabriel and Mary. And this is the oldest known commercial building that sits astride the span of a bridge. This charming street with 12th century homes on it is called Steep Hill. And Frank takes off up the hill like a greased weasel. I'm very impressed. I, on the other hand, climb the hill like a snail on Valium. Lincoln Castle is now the only place in the world where an original 1215 Magna Carta document and 1217 Charter of the Forest can be seen side by side. They're on permanent loan from Lincoln Cathedral. Hugh of Wells, the then Bishop of Lincoln, was present at the sealing of the document and made sure a copy was brought back to Lincoln. This is the document currently on display at Lincoln Castle. Considering I lose last month's electricity bill, the fact that that document, 1215, is still there and on display is amazing. The cathedral is also famous for a grotesque on a wall inside, and it's of a mischievous-looking imp known as the Lincoln Imp, and I've managed to take a snapshot of it. I would think you'll agree it's not overtly unattractive. It has a look of something with a vague rather than sharp intellect. A bit like its modern counterpart, which I saw in a pub the next day. Meanwhile, back on the street, the steampunkers have started to gather. They're coming here for some sort of local festival. Frank then invites me into the Cozy Club. I'm a bit dubious at first, but actually it's a wonderful emporium of all sorts ofness. Fascinating place.
So we're about to leave Lincoln. Our wonderful host, Mr. Frank, who's been looking after us for 2 days now.
You're more than welcome.
And it's been wonderful to see you, mate. Absolutely wonderful.
Thanks, Mr. John.
So we're on our way now. We'll catch up with you somewhere later on the journey. See you later.
So from Lincoln we head to Dinnington near Sheffield for Brother Bill's 70th birthday.
Happy birthday.
And what an event it turned out to be. Family, friends, it was wonderful. Loved every second of it, catching up with everyone. And a big thank you to Jan and Bill for looking after us. Then we're off to Winchester. Family coming in from all over the place. So we have South African side, the Irish side and the English side all together in one place. It was lovely. James and Vanessa even managed to get to Stonehenge. Anyway, then we were off again to Portsmouth, to the ferry port.
Hello, so here we are, Portsmouth ferry port, waiting to board. See you later.
Then, as is right and proper, bikes were on the ferry first. And I've made an assumption of the route they're going to take, assuming they're going to miss that pointy bit by Cherbourg.
So what do you think of your fish and chips, Badger?
Oh, I think it's going to be delicious.
Good.
Absolutely.
Here we are, just leaving the port. Service has been good so far, hasn't it?
It was the honey badger's turn to go on the top bunk, but she wouldn't do it, so I had to go up there. I suffered with vertigo all night long. The next morning we glide into the port at Saint Malo, or Saint Malo. Anyway, weather's not looking good, but we'll see when we get off. That squeaking, I think, is a bit of brake dust on the calipers. The driver of this little Mazda is being overcautious as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, it started to rain already. Oh well. We had wanted to tour around in the port. It's a very pretty place, this. But the rain is putting us off. So we make the snap decision to head straight for La Rochelle. Easing our way through the suburbs of the town, we're heading for the autoroute, which will take us directly south and hopefully into the sunshine at La Rochelle. A few minutes later, we're on the autoroute and we're making progress, hopefully away from the rain. Off the autoroute, onto some nice big A roads, and the weather's clearing. Fingers crossed.
Here we are in the outskirts of La Rochelle at the hotel. Hard to believe we're in the middle of an industrial estate. Maybe you show everybody, Brenda. Just point the camera that way. Very strange.
It's a nice hotel, only let down by sullen breakfast service. Anyway, let's go and have a look around La Rochelle. So, a little bit of history here. Eleanor of Aquitaine married Henry Plantagenet in 1152, who became King of England as Henry II in 1154, thus putting La Rochelle under Plantagenet rule until Louis VIII captured it in the 1224 siege of La Rochelle. The Knights Templar had a strong presence in La Rochelle since before the time of Eleanor of Aquitaine, and La Rochelle was the Templars' largest base on the Atlantic Ocean, and where they stationed their main fleet. Following the Treaty of Brittany during the 100 Years' War, La Rochelle again came under the rule of the English monarch in 1360. La Rochelle, however, expelled the English in June 1372 following the naval Battle of La Rochelle between Castilian, French and English fleets. The French and Spanish decisively defeated the English, securing French control of the channel for the first time since the Battle of Sluys in 1340. And here you can see a honey badger on a bridge. We are both very happy to have the warm sunshine on our faces. Until the 15th century, La Rochelle was to be the largest French harbour on the Atlantic coast. It dealt mainly in wine, salt and cheese. But today, I think we're just going to relax and watch this little sailboat traverse its way into the harbour. Another relaxing pastime, feeding the birds. A last coffee on the side of the marina in La Rochelle as the sun goes down. We actually enjoyed La Rochelle. Tomorrow we're on our way to Mont de Marsan, again avoiding the weather. Hope you've enjoyed sharing your time with us, and maybe you'll come back for the next video.